Okay, hello everyone, dear students. This is Dr. Sanjeev Padvi, and I welcome you to a wonderful session on Geography's Grade 9 chapter. And name of our chapter today is Rocks and Minerals. Okay, it is one of the very important chapters, not only from the point of view of studies, dear student, but also it is very much related to our day-to-day life also. Okay, and how does it depend to our day-to-day life? We will understand as we keep on studying this chapter. Okay, topic wise. Now, let us begin with a topic called what are rocks? Whenever we talk about the rocks, in front of our eyes, a very huge piece of stone comes, okay, seen from a mountain or lying on a ground. Is that a rock? Yes, that is a rock. But rock can also be even a small stone or the clay or a sand or a silt, even that is also a rock. Very difficult to understand, but yes, it is also rock. The only thing is it is in a very small size. And because it is of very small size, we are calling it either by clay or by stone. But otherwise, the definition says that rock is a hard material like granite or basalt, but it is also soft material and loose material like sand lying on the ground or silt lying on the ground or clay. Such a soft material or the hard material together known as a rock. In fact, a rock is an aggregate. Meaning of the word aggregate is collection. Collection of what? So it is aggregate of minerals. So many minerals come together, and a combination of all those minerals together termed as rock. Now if you look here, you find here something whitish in color. Then you will find something blackish in color. Then something here you will find grayish in color. So these are various minerals which have come together and turned into a rock. Therefore, we are saying it is an aggregate. Now, rocks are heterogeneous. It means they are made up of various types of material. A variety of materials are present in a rock. So rock is basically not made up of a single material, but it is made up of many minerals together. So when one mineral, second mineral, a third mineral, the fourth mineral, the fifth mineral, all of them join together, a rock is formed. So please remember, a rock is an aggregate. It is a collection of many minerals. Okay, students, and it is heterogeneous. It means the materials belonging to the rock do not belong to the same type, but variety of minerals come together and a rock is formed. Now, but you might be wondering then, what is a mineral? Okay, I said rock is a combination, it is an aggregate of minerals. So then what exactly is a mineral? Dear student, a mineral is a substance which is inorganically formed. Meaning of this word that it is formed outside the body of living things. Inorganically. That means without any organic process, without any processes happening into the plant or animal. Okay. Please remember, minerals are not formed by plants or animals, but they are formed by the natural process outside the body of plant and animal. When something happens outside the body of plant and animal, we call it inorganic process. So it is inorganically formed substance which is having fixed chemical composition. This word fixed chemical composition is a very important word, dear student. For example, you must have heard about iron ore, and this iron ore is made up of iron and oxygen, and of course some other minerals are also present in it, but iron ore is basically made up of magnetite, and a chemical formula of a magnetite is Fe3O4. That means a magnetite will be made up of 3 atoms of oxygen and 4 atoms of oxygen. It means the chemical composition, the chemical formula is fixed. Hematite is another type of iron ore where there are 3 iron particles or atoms actually, and 2 are the atoms of oxygen. So Fe2O3, Fe2 actually 2 atoms of ferrous, ferrous means iron, dear student, and 3 atoms of oxygen. So 3 oxygen atoms and 2 iron atoms will come together to form hematite. So hematite's chemical formula is fixed. Similarly, magnetite chemical formula is fixed. So therefore we are saying that mineral is inorganic substance having definite chemical composition and physical properties. Now, meaning of the word physical properties, that means the properties like color, texture, appearance, its a state, we call it by the name physical property. So, they have fixed physical property, fixed chemical property, inorganically formed by a natural process. Such a material is known as mineral. So mineral has 4 characteristics. First one, naturally formed. Second, inorganic process is required. Point 3, it has fixed chemical composition. And point 4, it has fixed physical characteristics. Now minerals are homogeneous, that means made up of same type of material. Here homogeneous means same material, heterogeneous means different materials. Rocks are made up of different materials. Minerals are made up of same type of material. Now look at these various types of minerals, dear student. Okay, you will find of them so many colors. Okay, now look at this. Now this is a piece of a rock which is made up of a mineral which is grayish in color, then a mineral which is blackish in color. Now another, see, this is another mineral. Now in this mineral you will find lot of copper inside. Okay, this is another example of a mineral. Okay, now mineral, please remember, is a substance from which we obtain either metal or non-metal. Now the geographical information says that oxygen is the most abundant mineral found in the earth's crust. Earth's crust is the outermost layer of the earth, and in this outermost layer oxygen is present in a maximum quantity which is 47%, followed by silicon which is present in 28%. So oxygen plus silicon results into formation of silicate, and if I add these two, so the number is 75. That means 75% of the earth is made up of silicates, dear student. It is the most abundant quantity of mineral present on earth. Besides this, aluminium, iron, calcium, sodium, they are also present in a huge quantity in earth's crust. Now silicates examples are, you must have heard the name calcium silicate. Feldspar is itself a type of silicate. Quartz is another type of silicate. Mica is another type of silicate. Please remember, silicate is a combination of oxygen and silicon, a material formed by the reaction between oxygen and silicon is known as silicate, and silicates constitute 75% part of the earth's crust. Now these are various examples of, now just now is I use the word feldspar. This mineral, dear student, that you see here is feldspar. This second mineral that you see here is quartz. The third mineral that you see here is mica. So they are present along with other minerals. So feldspar is itself a type of silicate. Please remember, these three are examples of silicates. Silicates are combination of, right, oxygen and oxygen and silicon. Correct. Now, dear students, calcium, gypsum, dolomite, these are other examples of minerals. In fact, so far scientists have discovered around 2000 type of minerals. I told you some time back, iron ore is a mineral, calcium is a mineral, dolomite is a mineral. That way, there are around 2000 minerals so far discovered, and our entire universe so far seem to be made up of these 2000 plus minerals. Entire earth, in fact, entire earth, as well as you can say some other planets, are also made up of rocks and minerals. Of course, I am talking about the solid planets like earth, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Now, entire earth is made up of, now look at this. Okay, so many minerals: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7, this blackish color 8. That way around 2000 minerals are present. So these all are variety of minerals present on Earth's surface. Now, please remember, the rocks, dear student, they ultimately break down. Now you can see here the rock that is blackish color here is basalt rock. Now you see here a very powerful current of water is flowing, that is the waterfall. Over the period of millions of years, these rocks slowly but surely break into small pieces and turn into stone. Stones turn into sand, and ultimately the stones and sand, everything break down and turn into clay, or you can say soil. And you very well know, if there is no soil, there won't be any crops. If there are no crops, there won't be any food. If there is no food, there won't be no life present on earth. In other words, all the living things will die if there are no rocks. That's why I said they are so much important, that our very existence, your life, my life, present on earth, ultimately depends upon rocks, dear student, because rocks only disintegrate to form soil, and in this soil we grow the plants which give us food. Okay, now we can classify the rocks as igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. These igneous rocks are of two types: intrusive and extrusive. I will explain all this step by step, dear student. Okay. Igneous rocks are of two types: intrusive and extrusive. The examples are here. Gabbro is intrusive. Diorite also intrusive. Extrusive igneous rocks examples are basalt. We already saw the picture of basalt some time back. This rock, dear student, that you see here, blackish color, is basalt. Okay, it is extrusive type of igneous rock. Then we are having sedimentary type of rocks, which are formed either by chemical process or by biological process or clastic. Now, what is all this? We will study step by step. And also we have another type of rock called as, it is metamorphic. And this metamorphic rock, dear student, is of two types: foliated and non-foliated. Okay. As I told you, we will see all these words step by step. Just now remember that basically rocks are of three types: igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and sedimentary rocks. Igneous rocks are of two types: intrusive and extrusive. Sedimentary rocks, clastic type, biological type, chemical type. Metamorphic rocks are foliated type and non-foliated type. We will study them step by step. Now, igneous rocks. Look at this picture, dear student. What do you look at? What do you think is this? Okay, you must have guessed it correct. It is volcanic eruption. And you see the lava flowing from here, okay? And you will find here something has already got solidified. Now look at this lava here, dear student. And this lava has begun to solidify. Okay, it has begun to solidify. You will find here this solidified lava. When this lava solidifies, it turns into rock, dear student, and such a rock which is formed by cooling down and solidification of lava is called as igneous rock. Now, igneous word, the meaning of the word igneous is fire. Now, this word igni sounds somewhat like Agni, Sanskrit word, correct? Agni, and you must be knowing Agni in Hindi language or Sanskrit language means fire. So these rocks are called as igneous rocks because they are formed because of the hot, extremely hot lava, the temperature of which is about 1000 to 1200 degrees Celsius. That lava cools down, super hot, fiery lava cools down to form the rock called as igneous rocks, dear student. Now these rocks actually, if you see here this volcanic eruption that is taking place here, that means the lava is coming from, now suppose this is the earth's surface. Now below the earth's surface, this hot lava below the earth's surface is called as magma. And when this magma rises up, it comes down as in a form of lava. This lava, dear student, ultimately cools down and a rock is formed. This rock is called igneous rock. Now this is the first rock that is formed. Therefore, we call it by the name primary rocks. These are the original ones. These are the first one that are formed. Okay. Now the cooling of these lava, dear student, can occur. Now suppose this is the earth's surface. Now let us say the lava now below the earth's surface. Please remember it is called magma. Now when this magma start coming out, it will come out in a form of a volcanic eruption. So the lava is going to cool down outside the surface. It is now called as extrusive igneous rock, which is formed outside the surface of the earth. Sometimes while rising up, this magma can spread around, dear student, sidewise like this, and below the earth's surface also it has started getting solidified. Now this is found inside the surface. Therefore, we call it by the name intrusive igneous rock. One is extrusive, that is outside the surface. One is intrusive, which is inside the surface of the earth. Okay. So this is how we have two types of igneous rocks, dear students. Now, can you identify which rock is this? This is extrusive type of igneous rock because this lava must have been flowing here also, but now it has got solidified. So this is how the rock is getting formed. Now, This is an example of, dear student, of some of the rocks, igneous type of rocks, which ultimately are breaking down, and here you are finding now the formation of what? The soil. Okay, this soil will further uh, get broken down into small pieces, and it will become later on clay. Now dear students, this classification of igneous rocks, as I already told you, igneous, intrusive. So when magma cools where? Below the surface of the earth, we call it by the name intrusive igneous rock. Here the rock piece that you see here, its name is gabbros, and where it is formed? Inside the earth's surface. These rocks which are formed inside the earth's surface are also called as plutonic rocks. So intrusive igneous rocks are known by second name. What is it? Correct. Plutonic rocks. Now what are the characteristics of these rocks, dear student? Please remember that suppose this is the surface of the earth, the lava has started coming out, but before that it gets solidifies sometimes below the earth's surface. This is below. So here the cooling will take place gradually over a long period of time. Outside, if they come out lava, dear student, it will solidify very quickly. But below the earth's surface, it will solidify slowly and turn into small crystals. Therefore, these rocks are crystalline in structure. Second thing, they are very compact and very hard also. They are glassy, that means they shine like a glass in appearance. Example of such a glassy material is quartz, dear student. Now look at this. It looks very shiny material. So plutonic rocks are having glassy appearance. They shine like a glass, not exactly glass, but they shine like glass. Now interestingly students, when this magma is pushed upward, now suppose this is the surface of the earth. Now here is, suppose below the earth's surface magma is present, and then this magma start rising up above the earth's surface. So before it comes out, sometimes it spreads here, dear students, sidewise, and start getting solidified here below the earth's surface, as you see in this picture. See, so it's solidified sidewise. Now these rocks which are now intrusive or plutonic but formed below the surface horizontally, we call now them by the name sill, S-I-L-L, sill. Otherwise, when that volcanic eruption taking place, okay, and at that time some of the lava solidifies vertically here. If it is getting solidified inside this pipe called as volcanic pipe, now I will call it by the name dike, but when it is horizontally getting collected, we call it by the name sills. These are also intrusive igneous type of rocks, that means which are formed below the surface of the earth. Now look at these sills, dear students. Sometimes they are seen above the surface of the earth, but then you will say this is the outside part. How are you saying this is formed inside? Now please remember, dear student, that earth is subjected, now they are, now this is above, now here is surface. Now over the period of time, what happens, that this surface start getting eroded like this, and once the surface gets eroded, now these rocks get exposed here, sills, and dikes now are seen above the surface. Okay, means once upon a time, suppose this is the earth's surface and this is the magma which was rising up, which got solidified below the earth's surface. Okay, but over the period of time, when this surface will get eroded, this part will be seen outside. Therefore, now that dike you can see here outside the surface of the earth. So when magma almost reaches the surface, but solidified in a slanting direction, okay, there we call by the name slanting, okay, or maybe vertical, we call it by the name dike. Okay, now few more interesting characteristics. Plutonic rocks are deep seated, that means they are present much below the earth's surface. They are crystalline. Okay, and another important exam, now this plutonic rock, okay, examples are gabbro and granite. You must have heard the name granite, dear student. Granite is extensively used in construction of a building, floors, as well as kitchen platforms. They are made out of granite. Another type of intrusive igneous rock is called hypobasal. Now they are formed by cooling and solidification of rising magma. These sills and dikes are belonging to the category of hypobasal rock. Hypobasal, that means below the surface, when the magma is rising up, before it reaches, it is getting solidified below the surface. Now, batholith, laccolith, sills, dikes, these are other intrusive igneous rocks. Now you might be wondering what is batholith and laccolith. That you will study separately in volcano chapter. Okay, batholith and laccolith. Now, intrusive igneous rocks we have studied. Now let us look at extrusive igneous rocks which are formed outside the surface of the earth. Now, what are the characteristics of these extrusive igneous rocks? First thing, they are also formed by solidification of lava on the surface of the earth. Second important point, examples of them is basalt. We saw the waterfall picture sometime back. That rock that was is basalt. Other one is obsidian, which is very beautiful looking blackish color dark rock. These extrusive igneous rocks, dear student, are further divided as explosive type and quiet rocks. Explosive, what is the meaning of the word explosive type of igneous rocks? Now please remember, when the volcanic eruption occurs, okay, suppose this is surface, this is the lava that is rising up, and when it comes out, along with lava, ash also comes out, okay, dust also comes out. So when this ash, this dust, when that solidifies, it turns into a rock called explosive rock. Okay, now the other one, etc., whereas quiet are the igneous rocks, but they are formed when lava erupts from fissure. Now I will also explain this word separately in volcano chapter, but right now in a short, dear student, suppose this is the earth's surface, and if the lava rising up from a single hole, okay, then it is called as the conical type of eruption. But imagine in the earth's surface a crack develops, crack like this, and through this crack lava comes out, so the lava will start spreading on both the side. So here what has happened, the land has got broken, the land has got a crack, and from that crack when the lava comes out, we call it by the name fissure type of eruption. And when the lava solidifies, that has come out of this fissure, we call this solidified lava on both the side by the name quiet. This is example of that explosive igneous rocks. formed by dust, ash, stones that come out from the volcanic eruption. This is quiet igneous rock formed because of the lava that came out of the earth's surface by making a crack in the earth's surface. This is that very beautiful obsidian type of rock, dear student, and this is a gabbro. Both gabbro and obsidian are formed below the earth's surface. Explosive and quiet are formed outside the earth's surface. Okay, now obsidian also, it is also example of extrusive igneous rock. Extrusive stands for rock that is formed outside the surface of the earth. Now you can see here the lava getting solidified here, dear student. Okay, and this solidified lava will turn into extrusive type of rock. Now basalt rock is the very famous example of extrusive igneous rocks, whereas granite is example of intrusive igneous rocks. Now depending upon chemical composition, these rocks are further classified as acidic igneous rocks and basic igneous rocks. Now what are acidic igneous rocks? Now dear students, they consist of more amount of silica. More the amount of silica, more than 65% is silica, then we call it by the name acidic igneous rock. Their characteristics, they are light colored, less in density. Less in density, light in color. Their very famous example is granite. And I told you, you must have seen these granite pieces, dear student. Okay, they are used exclusively in construction work. Then quartz, feldspar, we saw the pictures, mica, those all are examples of intrusive igneous rocks, but at the very same time acidic in nature. Now basic igneous rocks consisting of less amount of silica, they are very hard as compared to acidic rocks, so they have lower percentage of silica but higher percentage of oxides of iron, aluminium and magnesium. They are dense and dark color. Their most famous example is gabbro. Now they are found on lava plateau. Now look at this, dear student. This is a plateau that is seen here. This is Deccan Plateau as seen in Maharashtra. This is a very famous hill called as Sahyadris, which is found, now this is actually seen near Mahabaleshwar, a very famous hill station in Maharashtra. So basic igneous rocks, you can see them on a large quantity on Deccan Plateau as well as in Columbia Snake Plateau. This is in America. I'm talking about United States of America, students. Now these igneous rocks, as I told you, now look at their examples. Now you can see they look very dark, also very hard. So they are darker and hard. Okay, these are two important characteristics. There is another type called as ultra basic. Now what is a characteristic of ultra basic? It consists of magnesium and fer. These two minerals are present in large quantity in ultra basic rocks. Of course, it also has less amount of silica in it, dear students. Now, in general, what are the characteristics of igneous rocks? First characteristic, can you guess? Yes, they are formed by solidification of magma, correct. They are not fossiliferous, that means in them you won't find any fossils. These rocks are very hard and impervious. That means water cannot percolate through them. They are hard and impervious. They are either granular or crystalline. Granular means small grain like pieces come together to form these rocks. They are mainly consisting of silicates, and world's very famous precious metals like iron, silver, gold, lead, aluminium, they are found in these kind of rocks, dear student. Okay, now besides that, we use these rocks for construction of house. Then also during the, now you must have seen a railway track, dear student, a railway track. Okay, and in this railway track they put lot of stones. Most of them are basalt type of rocks stone. Okay, so in order to make the railway track very firm, they are laid, these rocks are put on the surface of the earth to make the railway track very firm. Now, after studying the igneous rocks, now let us study few of the sedimentary rocks. Now, imagine, dear students, this is a sea. Okay, this is suppose a sea, and a river is flowing into a sea. So this river will bring not only water in the sea, but river will also bring lot of soil with it, and that soil will ultimately start getting deposited in the sea. Now suppose this is the soil which got deposited. Next year when the flood will come, more soil will come along with this, and in this way, now suppose another layer of the soil is formed. Next year again the flood will take place and more soil will be brought. So in this way you find one layer of soil, another layer of soil, another layer of soil, and many layers are formed because of what? By the soil, that means the sediment brought by the rivers, and these ultimately what happens? First layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer. So the lowermost layer is pressed very hard by the upper layers, and of course there is water also above the top. So because of the pressure of water and pressure of upper layers, the lower layer start getting compacted. It start getting not crushed, it start getting compacted, pressed, and ultimately the sediment stuck to one another, forming this rock called as sedimentary rock. Now imagine, dear student, that along with this soil, a dead fish is also brought, and the dead fish get trapped here. Inside what? Inside this sediment. And over the period of millions of years, this fish has got trapped inside this rock, and somehow when this water gets evaporated ultimately, and suppose this sedimentary rock is exposed, and when you break open this sedimentary rock, you will find the body of that animal which got buried millions of years ago. Now I will call this by the name, correct, by the name fossil. So in this way, in sedimentary rocks, we find the fossils, which are the dead remains of plant and animals. Now students, suppose this is a lake. Now in this lake, one layer of the soil, second layer of the soil, third layer of the soil, fourth layer. So all these layers ultimately get solidified. They get compacted and turn into the rock over here. This is another layer, this is another layer, this is another layer. So one above the other, you will find many layers of these rocks. We therefore call them by the name stratified. Meaning of the word stratified means many layers of the rocks are formed on them, and we call it by the name stratified. Okay, stratified means layer formation. See this. Okay, now sedimentary rocks, okay, they are porous, means through them water can get percolated because they are loose, slightly loose gravel, sand, silt, clay. So this sand, silt, clay, as I told you, get compacted because of the pressure, but still some gap is left in them, and therefore water can get percolated through them. Now, suppose these are various sand particles or soil particles. In this soil particles, dear student, over the period of time, some material, okay, like gypsum gets collected. This gypsum has got a characteristic of cement. So gypsum, or you can also say lime, it gets collected and then these pieces get cemented together. You can see here the groundwater. So see these pieces over the period of time started coming close to each other, and ultimately they get stuck to each other by that cementing material present over there. Name of that cementing material is lime, and another cementing material is gypsum. So lime and gypsum bind them together and they turn into rock. This process is called as lithification. Okay, so due to cementing substances and the pressure, the above lying layers get compacted and turn into rock. This process is called as lithification. See this, so many layers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So many layers, dear student. These layers are also called as strata. First strata, second strata, third, so many. Therefore, name of the rock is stratified rock. The rock that is found in layers. And in between these layers, sometimes the dead animals' bodies get trapped, and over the period of time, that becomes fossil. Okay.